What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 12th, 2022, AD, Anno Domini. That's the year of our Lord. It doesn't mean after death, guys. And it's 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time right here now. Shout out to the Facebook crew and the D Live people and the YouTube people. And of course, as always, the faithful Odyssey people. First, it says taking care of business. Nice. And I will get to your super chats, guys. There was a late coming one from Danimal. Thank you. And more still, did you know that you can super chat off hours? Super chats are donation messages, just to explain for the boomers. And you can go to streamlabs.com, type into the web browser, streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. All one word. And we're going to cover this Britney Spears thing. You guys interested in hearing about Britney Spears? Well, too bad, because I'm going to cover it. Irregardless, which is not a word, of your desire or desire not to hear about Britney Spears. Just because the media is like, the women over there who write the media are just so like gushing over evil, you know, degeneracy. They want to, as JLP talks about, feel good about being wrong. So, and I will also maybe reiterate the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez thing, because I covered it kind of quickly. I may have pretty much covered it completely, but it's another example of just the disgustingness. You know, divorce and remarriage and having babies and all kinds of mess. Probably she can't have babies anymore, right? Isn't she 50? That singer woman. And I will talk about a tip that I received from Pastor Chris Connor. The black lieutenant governor got arrested. You know, they went from a female lieutenant governor, and then she became the female governor, and she had a black lieutenant governor, apparently, and he got arrested for, like, bribery charges, allegedly, right? Alleged charges, innocent unless proven guilty. And I have more on this Ivey woman. She is indeed lame. I played a clip of her talking about, we are gonna, you know, the Democrats stole the elections. The election. Excuse me. Wipe my nose. But this woman, she apologized for blackface. Blackface. Ridiculous. There are some evil people who were calling her a lesbian a few years ago, and to this day, don't fall for that. You know? But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. If I say that too hard, I get kind of lightheaded. I need to follow Lin Yan Chin's advice. Keep my spinal alignment correct. Breathe through my nose. Slightly congested here. Gotta eat my veggies and my pineapple and ginger and turmeric and other stuff. Clear those sinuses. But guys, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm just wearing my Temple City Rams t-shirt that I bought from the Temple City Ralphs when I lived just a block over from there. Over there on Las Tunas Boulevard. Beautiful tennis. Beautiful Temple City, California. A beautiful white town. Now it's turned Asian, though. Still mildly attractive, I guess. But what a shame. I grew up there. Went to school in El Monte. Anyway, You guys can call in 888-775-3773. By the way, a Ralph's, I guess not everybody knows that Ralph's is a supermarket. It's like a grocery store. That's where I found this t-shirt and bought it. It's very nice. I like it. Except it's not 100% cotton, which I prefer. It has some polyester to it. Polyester ends up stinking. It's not that you stink, it's the polyester that stinks. I guess the bacteria from your body, BO, turns even worse smelling on polyester. That's a pro tip for the guys and gals who actually sweat. Nice. Well, I don't even know if it is from sweat, but anyway, I don't want to be too gross. I used to be told by my friends, you have a stench. One friend in particular, you have a stench. But I haven't noticed that I have a stench. And I think it's because go mostly cotton. Nice. Temple City is like 90%. I don't know if that's true. I think that's an exaggeration. 90% Asian. Anyway, I have to cover this Britney Spears thing. Matt, the American, saying, Britney is free now. He's mocking it, though. He's laughing about it. Ridiculous. Yeah, Britney Spears. You guys familiar with her? She's 40 years old, just like me. Britney Spears' age. She's a singer, or was it? I guess she still is a singer, right? I think she was on the Disney Mickey Mouse Club thing. Like, isn't that where she got her start? Something like that? American singer, songwriter, and dancer. Often referred to as the princess of pop. I've never heard that. Not that I'm involved in pop culture, really. And, oh my gosh, she was married twice before. She was married to Jason Allen Alexander. Is that the guy from Seinfeld? One of the fat guys from Seinfeld? Maybe there's more than one Jason Alexander, right? And Kevin Federline, she was married to him before. Well, the news is, oh yeah, I'm older than her. It's her birthday too. It's December 1981, right? I was born in July. I didn't know that I was only just a matter of months older than her. So, this woman, she's kind of a washed up has-been. She's gone through a lot. Been on drugs, or at least looked like she was on drugs, like had her head shaved for some reason. You know, she looked like G.I. Jane, like Will Smith's wife, Jada Smith. Maybe she had alopecia, even though she's not black. Many non-blacks do have alopecia. Alopecia? But I'm chuckling because AI says, Hake got a stench. No, JLP's not the one who told me that. But it's a shame because she's pregnant. And this is gross, so bear with me, children, parents, and those of you who don't like gross stuff. It's gross because listen to how these people write this stuff. This is from CNN. I get their morning emails, right? Britney Spears says she is pregnant. Oh, baby, baby. Celebrations are in order for the pop star and her partner. Partner? What, is she a lesbian? Sam Asghari. A male. Okay, so she's not a lesbian. Wow, just imagine if she has a girl. Asterisk, manifesting on asterisk. Writes Alexandra Meeks, who is a CNN writer. Vulgar. By the way, I have some just random photographs of this woman from... there she is with her partner. But no, it's not a homosexual partner. It is a fiancé. May as well be. I mean, it's degenerate still. It's not morally straight. That's true. They are not morally straight. And I have more on this. Poor guy. He's a fitness instructor, trainer, or something like that. So more horrific lines from this. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports. You know, these are just little blurbs celebrating her being pregnant. On Monday, degenerate disappointment, 40-year-old Britney Spears. I threw in the degenerate disappointment, 40-year-old. But Britney Spears on Monday revealed she and her 12 years younger fiancé, I added the 12 years younger, 28-year-old, I added the 28-year-old, Sam Asghari, Asghari. What is he, Middle Eastern or something? You know me, I don't know anything. But look at him. He looks like a model, and then she looks like a mom, which she is, a mother, right? The Skim says that she and her fiance, Sam Asghari, are pregnant. What? They're both pregnant? Typical woman writing. Oh, we're pregnant. Look at this picture. Like, you can tell that he's relatively young. She looks like she might be young, smooth face, at least from the far away with the makeup on and all that. Pleasant face, but she's older than him. 12 years older than him, if you're looking at the photos. They're both pregnant? No, she is. And she didn't even say we're pregnant. She said, I'm pregnant. She said that about herself, right? She wrote it on her IG. Spears, already a mom of 2. Sean Preston is her child, age 16. That's not a child anymore, basically. And Jaden James, age 15, from her past marriage to Kevin Federline. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Kevin Federline. Was he her backup dancer? He was a backup dancer for multiple pop stars, like very big name pop stars. He was a talented backup dancer. 6 foot tall, kind of like Joel Friday, except this guy's white, I guess. Kevin Federline. But she's been talking about having another child since last year. But she has claimed that her conservatorship, her father was a judge, I guess, put her under the conservatorship of her father because she was so out of control, I guess. Is that the story? I don't even know or really care. But it controlled nearly every aspect of her life, including preventing her from getting her IUD removed, which I've mentioned this word before. IUD, basically, I think it prevents a woman from getting pregnant. It's like something that, I don't know. Well, I know more than I'm letting on, but I actually don't really know. Gross, huh? It had halted her from living her life. Nick says she needs to go back into conservatorship, under the conservatorship of her father. Now nothing can stop her from having a baby one more time, says the Skim. All celebrating. Yeah, there's a lot that can stop her from having a baby one more time. God, Satan. If she gets a... anyway, I don't want to mention abortion. So she's all in her IG when she announced this. Do you guys want to hear her IG post? I lost so much weight to go down to on my Maui trip, only to gain it back. I thought, geez, what happened to my stomach? Question mark, question mark, question mark. My husband, what? Wait, she's calling him her husband? I didn't catch that until now. But they're not, are they married yet? My husband said, no, you're food pregnant, silly. Ah, crazy face. So I got a pregnancy test and, well, I am having a baby. 4 days later, I got a little more food pregnant, meaning like, when you eat a lot of food, your stomach pops out. I guess that's what they're talking about. It's growing. If 2 are in there, I just might lose it. Cringe face. I obviously won't be going out as much due to the paparazzi, I think is what she's talking about. Getting their money shot of me like they unfortunately already have. I guess she's with her looking not very, it doesn't look good always when a woman is pregnant, right? I guess. It's hard because when I was pregnant, I had perinatal, there's that word again. Perinatal depression is what she called it. But perinatal is a word that I learned when I was learning about some of these different states in this country allowing children to die of neglect after birth. Perinatal means after birth, I guess, in like the 7 days or 28 days after birth. But anyway, she had postpartum depression, I guess is what you call it. What a mess, huh? Psh, out of control woman. I have to say it is absolutely horrible. Women didn't talk about it back then, 16 years ago when she was having babies before, right? Because she's 40 now. Some people considered it dangerous if a woman complained like that with a baby inside her. It is. It's bad when you're all angry and messed up. Hey, this is woman's gossip, bud. I'm reading what she wrote, man. It's not gossip. She wrote it publicly. I'm not saying personal stuff about her. Anyway, let's see. Some people considered it dangerous if a woman complained like that with a baby inside her. Yeah, it's not good for a woman to be angry and out of control emotionally. It's not good for the baby. But now women talk about it every day. Thank Jesus, we don't have to keep that pain a reserved, proper secret, she said. This time I will be doing yoga every day, spreading lots of joy and love, she says. It's not love, woman. And by the way, this is from the New York Post. 44-year-old Kevin Federline, her ex-husband, but she was already married to another guy before him, congratulates 40-year-old ex Britney Spears on her pregnancy with 28-year-old Sam Asghari. And look at that hair. What is he, trying to be black? Look at that hair. Zoom in on that. That's just weird. What happened to them? And she looks like a freak too. But, oh, come on, dude. Well, he's a child of divorce himself. But he's like wishing her well. He congratulated her. It's not something to congratulate. You know, back in the day, he looked halfway sensible. And so did she. I think that the sin catches up with us and we get more and more haggard. And it doesn't look right anymore. Before I get to calls, guys, let me finish this story. He'd already had, so this man, Kevin Federline, poor guy. Oh, by the way, this Eileen Wrestling woman I called it New York Post, but it's page 6. What's the difference? I think it's the same thing, right? Just one is more gossipy or something. Wendy Williams show. How you doing? So this Eileen Wrestling woman calls it one big happy blended family. Just this fake feel-good hell that these people are bringing into the world. You know? What a shame. Kevin Federline, a child of divorce himself, raised mostly by his mother, I think. He has 6 children, 2 by her. But he already had 2 before getting with her. And these people are not black. On the outside, I don't think. It's spreading. I mean, they're part of that degenerate entertainment world. So that's basically kind of, okay, they're black. Black on the inside. He already had 2 children with a prior fiancée before he married this Britney woman, Britney Spears. The first woman's name was Shar Jackson, who apparently maybe has a name for herself or something. She commented that Federline's relationship with Spears, after breaking up with her, wasn't just like breaking up a relationship. This Britney woman, not just a relationship wrecker, but a home wrecker. It was like breaking up a family. And it is, except that you weren't married, so it wasn't a real family. But this guy shouldn't have been getting with Britney to have 2 more kids after he already had 2 kids by the first woman. She sustained an amicable relationship with Federline. Am I pronouncing his name right? Complimenting his parenting as a father. What a mess, huh? And the fake feel-good media wants to feel good about all this. I'm shaking my head. Yeah, Kevin was married and had kids with a black girl from Moesha. I think, Shar Jackson. I think it was a fiancé. I don't even think that he was quite married. I think they broke that off. Man, what a shame. Good entertainment, James, says Jib Jab. Thank you. I hope so, man. Please, Hake, don't faint in the studio. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that little strange interlude of gossip. Taking care of business says, Hake only wants women with turtlenecks, shirts, and ankle-length skirts. Everything else is risque. And Asmodor says, it is. You know what? Taking care of business is, I don't agree with the conservatorship because I don't agree with entrusting someone else with your complete financial well-being. We don't know whether he was looking out for her like a father or looking after his own financial well-being through her earnings. But she's definitely a crazy person looking at her escapades over the last decade. And to this day, shaking my head. So wrong.
To this day.
Yeah, taking care of business says he's insane, referring to this fiancée, this partner, knocking up a 40-year-old, twice divorced mother of 2 who's been institutionalized several times. Good point. Poor guy. I mean, he was bringing it on herself. She's our age, Hake, old. Yeah, 40-year-old woman. And look at her. I like, show the pictures of her again. I do not like this dark eyeshadow on, especially on white women. It does not look right. That doesn't look right. That really doesn't look right. She's like showing off her like hips. She has like apparently like tattoos peeking out from just above her like low cut jeans, all nasty. And look at her. Oh my gosh, terrible. It just looks awful. Too much makeup, and she's old, and she's doing like that. What a shame. My friend is all disappointed. The one who told me I have a stench, like he was very disappointed in her. She looks totally different with brown hair there. Is that her normal hair color? Yeah, but he, as Nora says, he looks like an on-the-vine tomato. Yeah, he's like too young for her. What a shame. Not good. Not good at all. Anyway, thank you again, guys, for bearing with me through that. I will get to some super chats. But first, let's talk to some blacks. Shall we? Let me get to Tony in California is on the... You know what? Let me skip Tony for now. Tony, hang tight, man. Let me get to Jeremiah in Louisiana. Jeremiah, how you doing? Oh, Lord.
Is the day.
Come back to your phone. Far be it from me to interrupt the Bible verses, but we cannot hear you. I'm gonna have to put you on hold, Jeremiah. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready now.
Okay, you are lucky. That's not ready, man. I'm gonna put you on hold after all because it's too much wind right now. I understand you're in the boonies, but we can't do that. We are a professional outfit here. I have a Subscribe-Star, guys. Subscribestar.com/the Hake Report. And although I'm outside and like I'm using earbuds and the wind is hitting up against my my chest and my hat drawstring over there on Subscribestar video. By the way, I put it up and it came out all wrong, so I had to switch things around so that it would show the video that I wanted it to show. Subscribestar.com/the Hake Report. Let me get to Tony in California, because I said Tony anyway. Tony, how are you doing? Thank you for holding.
I'm doing just fine. How are you today, Mr. Hank?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Where is the
Speak up, man. You're coming in kind of quiet and muffled. What's wrong with you blacks?
Where is the Christian values in you Republicans? Why are y'all allowing people to marry 10-year-olds? Why is that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, bro. If anybody know, you definitely know.
Are you going to answer me?
Yes, I'm asking you. Why are they allowing people to marry 10-year-old females, children?
Is that actually happening?
Yes.
Why are you allowing it then? Because I don't know about that. You seem to know about this. Why are you allowing it to happen if you know about it?
Well, I'm trying to protest against the...
On the Hake Report?
Well, I mean, I know you don't want to hear this about this, but I mean, yes, in the state of Tennessee, and I believe will spread to more red states if they already haven't, they're allowing them to marry 10, 12-year-old females, children.
Asmodor states with some super chats for you, Tony. We debunked this last week when Tony made this false claim already. Yeah, you were talking about 12-year-olds in Tennessee being allowed to get married because they said same-sex marriage isn't real. But you think same-sex marriage is real, huh?
I'm not talking about same-sex marriage. I'm talking about
That's what the law is about. As I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, I think that this law is about not allowing the same-sex marriage stuff. I think that's what it is. I could be mistaken.
You think. How you speak on something you think? What
you speak on lies
thinking?
all the time, Tony. And
why are you thinking?
Because I don't remember. I don't remember, nor do I really care.
Yeah, you do. Because you told me a couple months ago that you would rather be with a young female.
See, now you're lying again.
Hey, you want me to pull it up and send it to you? You want me to pull up that tape and send it to you?
I've probably blocked your email for sending 40 emails in a matter of 5 minutes. But go ahead and try.
Right.
Go ahead and try.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try.
Right. You see,
I cut him off because he was about to say something like, "Oh, you said that you prefer to be with a 12-year-old rather than a 35-year-old." What a terrible lie! I did not say that. You are a liar.
Okay, like I said, I got the tape, brother. I got it.
Okay, brother.
But the thing is, why do white men want to be with somebody?
Why don't you look at yourself, Tony?
Why do they just love raping people?
No, that's blacks, dude. Blacks rape.
Why is that?
Blacks commit rape and get arrested for rape at something like 6 times as much? Or am I thinking of murder? 6 times as much for murder. Maybe it's only 3 times as much for rapes.
And white don't murder? White people don't murder? Come on, man.
Only 1/6 of the time that blacks do.
Yeah, right.
Only 1/6.
1/6 of the time being reported.
Maybe a third of the time. Maybe whites commit quote unquote rapes about a third of the time that blacks do.
I'll tell you one thing.
Because do you know why? Do you know why that crime is out of control?
And see how many people they have murdered throughout the history.
Lord.
Oh yeah, I thought you said it then.
Okay, so Tony's going with the tired pedo accusations. You need some new material, Tony, says Dan East. Thank you, Dan East.
You claim to be Christian, but y'all never a bunch of pedophiles. That's how y'all is.
Back at you. Back at you. You don't believe in. You don't even know what a Christian is. Nor do you even know. And stop repeating this.
I've never seen one.
If you don't want to get banned from the show, you better stop with this vulgar mess.
What you gonna ban me for?
Because you're being vulgar.
How am I being vulgar on something that's true?
First of all, it's not true. And second, there's many things that are factually true that are too vulgar to repeat. Duh. Okay, Asmodor states with another super chat, let's clear the record, guys. Our resident historian and fact checker says our one state representative put out an amendment that didn't have an age requirement. It is a bill, not even yet a law, and other representatives have added age requirement amendments. It was a simple oversight, but this guy wants to say, why do whites want to marry 10-year-olds? What's with these white pedophiles? Whites are so rapey. What a mess.
Tell them to check the law in Kentucky. You can marry your own cousin. How about that one?
I don't know, and I think third cousins, by the time of third cousins, that's enough of a difference. Anyway, you're just throwing out mess all the time.
Ain't no mess.
Yes, there is. There's a ton of mess.
Well, they're like Donald Trump said, he loves
every time you. How do you feel about the fact that you're known to be a liar? Every time you call in, you lie.
The poorly educated. Why y'all love the poorly educated? So y'all get over them?
Because the poorly educated can see through mess. Are you educated?
Yeah, right. That's why y'all get.
Are you educated, Tony?
But I love the work Jesse doing.
Are you educated?
I applaud him.
Are you educated?
I applaud him.
I asked you a question.
Yes, I am.
See? Sucker.
You went to college I went to?
Yeah, what college?
You gonna pull up my records like Donald Trump?
I'm not into that. Tony and Jeremiah means the show's average IQ just went down by 30 points, says Asmodor. What a mess.
It can't go down no further because, like you say, y'all love the poorly educated, so it can't go no further down.
Okay, so Asmodor states, since you brought this topic up, it's pretty vulgar, but Asmodor states with the super chat. Okay, here's some more truth for you, Tony. If that's your real name. According to the Federal Bureau of Prison Statistics, blacks are 8 times more likely to have sex with an underage partner than whites.
And where do you get that from? A right-wing statistic?
Shut you up.
A
Stopped you in your tracks.
Man, come on, man. Keep it 100. Hey, like you say, we've been 13% since what? Since we've been here. So how are we going to have the highest rate or anything?
I don't know.
Come on, man. Do the math, fool.
No, because it's per capita, dude. It's the likelihood. Okay, you run into an okay, Tonyhood. Tony. I call him Tonyhood.
Likelihood statistics. Yes.
You run into your average white community and you run into your average black community. Which one would you guess is safer?
The black.
What a liar.
You say if I run into a white community, I'm gonna be threatened. I'm gonna be having a police call on me.
You're gonna threaten the whites, maybe.
That's what you just asked me, crazy.
That's not crazy.
That
you run into a random black.
You run into a random white.
The random black is 6 times as likely to be a killer.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you come on.
I'll tell you one thing. You run into a black neighborhood and see how you feel.
Another super chat. I mean, you're getting me lots of super chats, man. Tony doesn't understand. Tony don't understand.
I speak the truth.
Okay, here's a super chat with some more truth. Tony doesn't understand them racist white man's per capitas that be holding him down. It's only likelihood statistics. No, it's actual statistics that have happened. What a mess.
Tell your friend that I helped integrate the school back in the 60s. So I know what racism is.
Lord, there's no such thing.
When we integrated that school, we put it on the state capital as far as championships, as far as everything in academics. That school became a championship school because blacks went there. If you think I'm lying, look up the history of it.
Wow, that's wonderful, Tony. You should pat yourself on the back.
I do, bro. Hey, my trophy is still in that school to this day, my friend.
Wow.
Believe that, okay? And my brothers, okay? Believe that. We made that school, we put it on the map as far as state championships. So think that blacks ain't great. Hey, you know we great. You just don't want to admit it. Have a good day, man.
All right.
I got to go take my business.
All right. He shut me up, didn't he? Wow. At least he was somewhat clean at that point. Let me read a few more super chats, guys. Jeremiah was out in the boonies. He was disconnected. Sorry, Jeremiah. Catch you again. Coming up to more callers, though. You can call in. You, too, can call in and make a fool out of Hake. 888-775-3773. But some super chats, guys. Over there on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report, Danimal, late toward the end of the show yesterday, I didn't catch it in time, said, "Go Hake, go." What a great line, right? Go Hake, go. I used to read when I was a kid. One of my favorite books was Go Dog Go. Go Dog Go. Anybody else read that book, Go Dog Go? Thank you, Danimal. Appreciate that. Base America First with the super chat. Kentucky Onyeka. Brown Jackson. See, I clicked my tongue away from the mic. I don't know if that helped. In my family, it took just one generation to go from segregation to the Supreme Court of the United States. If segregation is so bad, why did her parents decide to attend historically black colleges? Asks Base America First. Good question, man. Fair enough question. Yeah, this segregation, it's kind of neither good nor bad. It's just a reality of life. It can be a good thing, and sometimes I guess it just depends on the situation. Can be a bad thing. What a mess. Jer Animo with the super chat asks, what is your take on DJT, that's Donald John Trump, endorsing Dr. Oz for U.S. Senate? I heard Walsh reporting on it yesterday, as in Matt Walsh, perhaps, the Catholic guy who works over there at the Daily Caller. Do something, Matt Walsh. Lead this rebellion. Call for civil war. Matt Walsh. Shout out to that caller. I totally like you, man. I just think it's misguided. somebody, Walsh, reporting on it yesterday by mentioning Oz as an openly pro-abortion, pro-transgender leftist in the past. Why would Trump not be aware of this, claiming the opposite? I don't know. I do not know. But my take on him endorsing Dr. Oz, who is now I guess he's running as a Republican. You know, Trump was a very pro-abortion and fine with the transgenders. He said Bruce Jenner, I'm dead naming him because I respect him too much to call him Caitlyn, even though that is his legal name now. What a mess, huh? Legal doesn't mean right. And I'm calling him because I respect him too much to call him a her. Just to clarify that, Bruce Jenner calls himself Caitlyn Jenner. Call me Kate. What a mess. But he said Bruce Jenner could use his the women's bathroom in Trump Tower. So Trump is fine with these things, really. He doesn't really care. So he was very pro-abortion in the past. And so I don't know what Dr. Oz is. I don't know what Trump said about him. I don't know what Walsh said about him, and I don't know the truth. Something to look into. But, Oz, maybe he's a mildly okay guy. Maybe he's better than what we have up there now, or maybe he's not. So I have no opinion at this point, Geronimo, but thank you for the tip. And I shall take that as homework. This is my homework for the night, or for whenever, to look into it. Someone with a super chat says, are super chats possible on Subscribestar using the tip message option? Or would that be too distracting and you might not see them? It's a fair question, someone. I do not know the answer to that. I did pull up my Subscribestar and let's see. I can be checking my Subscribestar. I check everything else. So if you want to try it, you can try it. I may not see it right away, but I may see it within the day or so. I'm trying to give it the old college try, right? I'm not trying to give it. I'm giving it the old college try. Someone also gave a super chat. Britney Spears is the kind of person where you say those kids sure are lucky their dad is Kevin Federline. Why are talking about this talented, washed up D-list bimbo? D-list? Aw, that's cold. Talentless? Talentless? You ever heard? What's that song? What's that song? I'm blanking on that song. Where, lucky, isn't she lucky? That Hollywood girl. Then why something does she cry at night? Tears flow at night. Something like that. I'm butchering the lyrics. How can you call that talentless? But yeah, what a mess. What a mess. I talk about it because it's kind of an interesting phenomenon that these people are all celebratory about this woman's going to have a baby. Yet these people are very pro-abortion, I assume. And yet this woman, it's like divorce and remarriage and divorce and remarriage and then not even married, now having another kid and just all over the place. Huh. Lord Bibby 42 says, Hake, sent you an email yesterday. Probably not something you want to share, but hopefully you were able to get something out of it. Knowledge? A laugh? SMH. Evil is all around us. SMH is shaking my head. But the snakes are ever easier to see. Well, thank you, Lord Bibby 42. I did see an email did come in. I have not checked it yet. But thank you. And I did flag it, though. So I shall check that out. Appreciate that. Brandon M. with the super chat says, Tony helped integrate the school by bouncing the ball good. As in basketball? Beating up the white kids and not knowing the difference between fiction and nonfiction. Asmodor with the super chat. This is over on Odyssey. odyssee.com/@the Hake Report. Per the Bureau of Justice Statistics' National Criminal Victimization Survey, Crime Victimization Survey, On average, around 20,000 rapes are committed by black men against white women every year. Purportedly, the rate of white on black rape is so low that it is statistically zero. I remember seeing the 2008 statistics, and that's what it was. And in 2009, Obama came in office, and somehow, poof, they stopped counting it under Eric Holder, the top cop. Eric Holder, who's black, who wants to brainwash you against guns. Inexplicably, they stopped counting. Oh, my gosh. Because those white supremacists, with those darn pesky facts, what a mess. Oh, you know what? Jeremiah is back on the line. Shall I get to him? Yes. Jeremiah in Louisiana, thank you for calling back. How are you doing?
This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it.
I'm still getting some nasty wind on you, man.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can all right, I'm close though.
Okay.
Maybe now. All right, so you're not my neighbor, right? That's what you said. You wouldn't want me to be your neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Because that's one N-word you never want to call a black is neighbor. It's a running joke, man. Don't take it personally.
No, you weren't joking.
No, well, yeah, I'm not joking. I don't want you as my neighbor.
Yeah. Right.
You are my neighbor, though, irregardless.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You said this thou sayest. You said I'm not your neighbor.
Yeah,
I'm not your neighbor.
Well, you're not on my street, that's for sure, and I'm glad about that.
As long as we wanted to be your neighbor, we've realized that we can't be your neighbor because that's normal whites. That's what you called me yesterday.
Y'all
aren't like that.
You saying you wanted to be my neighbor?
We did. I did.
You did
before I realized who my enemy was. Yeah, right. When I loved you,
your enemy is within. Your enemy is within you.
I wanted to be your neighbor when I was naive and gullible to think that it was all inclusive. Love was all inclusive, but all the while, in secret, like y'all do, y'all really didn't honor that. Y'all aren't honorable people.
Oh, okay.
You know.
We're not honorable people.
You don't want anybody that doesn't look like you to be your neighbor. This is being frank.
Oh yeah.
You know,
white countries are so bad. We are the least diverse countries in the world.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's all been taught. Like you said, your mother taught you, right? She taught you.
No, she didn't.
The Bible when you were young, right?
Oh yeah.
She made y'all quote Bible verses, right? And what I said, we were lost, right, from a young age, and you were taught from a young age, right? Yeah. So you were taught from a young age. Your neighbor is somebody that looks like you. Your brother is somebody that looks like you.
No, that's not true, man.
That's what that means. Yes, it is.
Are you aware?
What that means, Hank.
Are you aware, Jeremiah?
You said out of your own mouth that
I'm talking, man. I'm talking. I'm trying to respond. Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Are you aware that I grew up amongst Hispanics, Asians, and some whites? Okay. Those were my neighbors.
You never considered them in your mind.
Oh, I didn't consider my next door neighbor to be my neighbor. My across the street neighbor to be my neighbor.
You didn't want them to be your neighbor. You didn't want them to be your neighbor.
I did not care.
Is the ones that look
I was a kid.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do care. That's why you said what you said to Dr. Detroit.
What are you talking about?
You said you don't want anybody black, Hispanic, or Native American as your neighbor. So in your mind, they're not your neighbor. Come on, let's stop playing the game.
You're the one playing the game, man. You're totally projecting.
On to the next thing. So
no. You don't get to do this, woman. Don't be a woman.
You want to stay on the neighbor?
Don't be a woman.
With the neighbor thing. I'm not.
Yes, I'm staying on the neighbor thing because you're making accusations that aren't true.
This came out of your mouth. That's nothing I forced you to say.
When I joked that I wouldn't want you don't want blacks to. You don't ever want to call blacks your neighbor. Well, it's joke, but there's truth to it for sure.
No, he said, would you consider him your neighbor, or could he be your neighbor? You said no. I don't want any black for the next.
No thanks. Yeah, because statistically speaking, they're not good neighbors.
Somebody said in your chat, oh, somebody that laughs is evil. So you keep laughing. You do that little laugh. It's like an evil laugh.
Oh, okay.
You know?
You would know an evil laugh.
But
That's true.
Anyways.
Because you have a very evil
you do it
laugh.
all the time. You do it all the time. That little corny little sucker laugh that
you're just jealous.
Do all the time. That's what y'all do.
You hate me. Why do you hate me?
Next thing, right?
Not on to the next thing, woman. You're not controlling the conversation. I'm the host.
Why do I hate you?
Yeah.
Because of your spirit. Your spirit. You have the true spirit of an Edomite.
No, you hate me because of your spirit.
You said the normal whites. The normal whites think like you.
You hate me because of your spirit. The spirit in you hates me. It's not because of me.
Do normal whites think like you, right?
Yeah, by and large.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is
so let me go back to this neighbor thing. Let me go back to this neighbor thing. Jeremiah, let me go back to this neighbor thing. You are such a projecting person. Oh, my God. You jump into all kinds of... Well, it's true. I would not want someone like you on my street because you got a crazy attitude. So that part is true. Nor would I want that guy from Detroit whom I banned.
Your neighbor.
What? I wouldn't want what?
Let's be real. You wouldn't want any black to be your neighbor. You said Nick
That's not true.
Doesn't belong here.
There's a couple good ones.
That means he's not your neighbor. Nick doesn't belong here. He's not your neighbor.
He is my neighbor, but he doesn't belong here.
How? Well, he doesn't belong here.
But he's my neighbor.
In your brain, he's not your neighbor. You don't
know what might have been in my brain. This is what I'm talking about with the projection thing.
If you said he doesn't belong here, that means how is he your neighbor and he doesn't belong here?
Because he's here. So therefore, he is my neighbor. Duh.
That's crazy.
Duh.
That's crazy, Hank. He doesn't belong here. So in your brain, he's not your neighbor.
Is a neighbor regardless of whether you want him to be a neighbor or not.
That's crazy.
Did you know that?
That's crazy.
Did you know that?
No. And your brain,
just because you don't like the reality doesn't mean the reality changes.
When you decide in your brain that somebody doesn't belong here or you don't want somebody
to be your neighbor, do you believe that transgender is real?
They're not your neighbor.
Is transgenderism real?
No.
Then why are you pretending that just because I don't want somebody to be my neighbor, therefore, poof, they're not my neighbor?
What does that have to do with transgender?
Because you're pretending that reality is what I want things to be or what I feel like things should be. But that's not what reality is. He's my neighbor, whether I want him here or not.
Hey.
Duh. So are you trying to link this back to love thy neighbor?
Well, that was a horrible example. That was horrible analogy.
Horrible analogy?
He's not. Yeah, I'm not even going to go to the transgender thing because that's some freaky stuff you're trying to go into.
No, you're the one who's freaky.
In your brain.
You don't know my brain. What makes you think you know my brain?
You don't want me to be your neighbor.
What makes you think? What makes you think you know my brain?
I am not your neighbor. It's probably what your dad taught you, or your grandpappy, or whoever.
What makes you think you know my brain?
Your neighbor is the ones that look like you, and that's fair.
Jeremiah, you're rambling. Woman, what makes you think you know my brain?
Because you said plenty of stuff. I know off of what you said. That's all I can go off of.
And what stuff did I say that makes you think that you know my brain?
I am not your neighbor. Out of your own mouth.
Thank God for that. But you are technically my neighbor in that you're in America.
No.
You are. Will you shut up? Will you be quiet, Jeremiah, and let me respond rather than interrupting me like a woman?
You interrupt me all the time, Hank. What are you talking about?
Does that justify you interrupting me like a woman?
No, but I'm not.
Then don't interrupt me like a woman.
You're done. Go ahead. Now,
so
when I say something,
I said,
don't
regardless of whether I want you to be in America or not, you are in America. You're calling my show. You are effectively my neighbor in that sense. Thank God you're not on my street.
Negative.
Thank God you're not on my street. And I wouldn't want you personally to be my neighbor. But there's some decent blacks Justice Clarence Thomas, who would make a great neighbor, I assume. He would probably be kind of tough to deal with, maybe. JLP, Joel Friday. Those might be some decent neighbors. Joel is 30% white. But you're black on the inside. You are dark and hate-filled and projecting your hate as though it's my hate, but it's your hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. That's it.
Asmodor with this couple of super chats says, Jeremiah mumbling Bible verses like he's reading the ingredients on a cereal box. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, you fake Jew. Okay. Your girlfriend with another super chat. I'm putting him on hold. Your girlfriend with another super chat. Is Jeremiah offended because a white man says he doesn't want to be his neighbor? That's kind of calm and quiet. Isn't that nice? Let's get an answer from him. Is Jeremiah, your girlfriend has a question. She gave a super chat asking, is Jeremiah offended because a white man says he doesn't want to be your neighbor?
At the least.
You're on the line now.
I am not offended at the least, no.
Then how come you're harping on it?
I'm not harping on it. That's what you said, so I was proving a point.
You did not prove anything.
Love your neighbor, if you say love your neighbor, and that's your go-to, love your neighbor, and you said you don't want me to be your neighbor.
That's not my go-to. That's not my go-to.
If you say that Nick doesn't belong here, he's not your neighbor.
See, so this is how fake you are.
Love your enemy, love your neighbor when I'm not your neighbor, right?
Am I insane for trying to have a sane conversation with this person? Jeremiah, my go-to.
Go to the next thing, but you want to stick on this.
Yeah, because you're making a false point. And I don't know, for some reason it's mildly interesting. You think my go-to is love your neighbor. That's not my go-to. I say love your enemy.
Yeah, you don't understand what that means either.
Nor do you. You don't know what love is. You don't know what your enemy is.
Love is keeping the commandments.
You don't even know who you are.
I know what my enemy is. My enemy that looks like me, that wants to kill me.
Love your enemy. Not one word does he comprehend.
Because of his self-hate. The enemy that looks like me, because of his self-hate, he wants to kill me. So I have to love him. Doesn't mean love. Well, how do I love somebody that? Oh my gosh, I could keep going, Hank. But what's the point?
You don't know what love is.
You're atheist.
You don't know who you are, and you don't know who your enemy is.
That's why y'all don't really go by the book. Y'all are atheists. You turn atheist, or you turn into some freaky pedophilia stuff.
Goodbye. Isn't that nice? Let's get to a couple of super chats. Ledge Klinger says, always the same thing with Jeremiah, just mess. Well, thank you for your call, Jeremiah. I appreciate it. I guess I let him get out of control. Thanks, Jeremiah. Neighbor is the N-word no sane white man wants to call Jeremiah, says Asmodor. I don't know if anybody would, with that spirit coming out of him, I don't know if you would really want to be around that. Let me get to, shall I get to William in California? How are you doing, William?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, we got about, it's a nice day down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's windy. It's a blustery day.
Yeah, here too. We got about between 13 and 16 people injured in this subway in New York. Crime is out of control.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is there's a difference between, I see you had your African-American hour with the last couple of callers, but what that does is it keeps you from talking about the real problem, what's going on in the black community.
I mean, they're an example of what's going on in the black community.
They sure are. And I heard you get attacked the other day by somebody named Miss Parks.
Yeah.
It's absolutely embarrassing.
Don't be well, anyway, yeah.
Well, not really, and I wouldn't want to be your neighbor either, Jeremiah. That's what's called free market. You price yourself away from somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, we should bring back the right to discriminate. It's a basic right.
Well,
it's only
feeding
resentment that you have this anti-discrimination law stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of that, and also what happens is it shrinks the part of you being able to place yourself by price away from neighbors like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the difference between black people and African Americans. Because there's plenty of black people that don't think like that. They don't act like that either.
Yep.
But, you know, you guys have a good day. And like I said before, it takes off of what we should be paying attention to. You know, all of that acting out and everything. You know,
in your opinion, what should we be focusing on? Because you're right.
Parenting skills.
Parenting skills?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
And in the blacks' case, it's just the black mothers.
Yeah, you know, we, as JLP says, know thyself. Look within. Look at yourself when you get mad at other people. It's,
all you're doing is taking attention off of the real problem.
Right. People looking outward for this fake idea of love, like what you see with Britney Spears. Man.
Right.
Or this fake idea of calling out the white man's hate.
Yeah, when you constantly do that, you take the attention off of what you should be paying attention to. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yep.
You know? And for the most part, blacks don't think like that. It's very entertaining, but it makes you not think about what the real problem is. And ask Asmodor, how much money did Trump give the black colleges versus Joe Biden? You'll be very surprised.
I don't know if he knows, but yeah, he did give a lot.
Crazy number Trump gave him, and then when Biden came in, he took it away.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. He took it away.
I mean, they like to keep them in a state of crisis, so that they can swoop in and pretend to save them from this crisis and keep them angry.
I mean, they could have got their dorms rebuilt and all that stuff. They're not better schools.
Right.
But the so-called racists gave you more money than you ever got, and then your savior.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure I'm really for that. I think that these colleges are not pumping out, the historically black colleges nor the normal ones are not pumping out sensible citizens.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Not even the engineers. Well, if you're...
Probably not a good idea to send your kid to college now. I mean,
right.
What people tell me that have children, they say, man, I don't know. I don't know if my kid should go to college right now or go do something else.
They come back. I was talking on Asmodor's show about this when I was on his show this past Saturday. Like, they're coming back lesbians or transgenders or radical homosexuals or anti-racist.
Wild stuff.
Yeah, they turn against their parents, turn against God. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's because they didn't have the proper upbringing in the first place, but they never shouldn't have even been in this cesspool. It's ridiculous. Just props up their ego.
They're not teaching the kids. They're not teaching them too good.
Yeah, very true.
So I guess you got to really make your own mind up when it comes to your children's education these days. And I think if you send them to a state college or any UC system, in the case of California, you're screwing up.
Yeah.
You're screwing up. You're taking a risk of messing your kid up.
Yep.
So everybody have a good day and be safe. There's a lot going on out there.
Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay,
you as well,
care.
William. All right.
All right.
Bye. Wow. LUKA in Indiana, you're coming up next. I appreciate it. Hang on. I didn't realize it's been 23 minutes of you being on hold, man. But gotta enjoy the Hake music, not the fake music first. Let's go ahead and play this song right away and play the video for it too, and have me like in the lower corner for the first maybe 3 minutes or so while we get this going. This is 6 Organs of Admittance. Shelter from the Ash, the album, 2007, Drag City Records. Isn't it kind of nice? This is the 6th track called Final Wing. I like it. I hope you like it too. It may be a bit repetitive for your taste, but I like it. It grows, and then some song comes in. Somewhat of a song. And I'll step away after a few minutes here. LUKA's a musician too, by the way, my caller. Nice. Shelter from the Ash is the name of the album, yeah. Drag City's an excellent label, I hear. Is that devilish? Sorry, guys. Sorry, kids. I'm not sorry, but forgive me, adults. It's not overtly vulgar. want a manicure? No. I clip my nails every few weeks. That's it. It's kind of a cool vibe. I mean, it's repetitive, I know, but cool, ominous mood. Thank you. I have more stuff to talk about in the next hour, guys, by the way. Ivey, they're going after, well, they're not going after her, but the Alabama governor signed a bill to protect the kids from the trans madness. This is the CD art. If you're watching the video, is that a cobra? I don't know. Is that ginger root? It looks like it to me, too. Yes, I remember the time I played 90 Pound Wuss. A Christian band, actually. That was cool. Well, guys, I think I'll step away for a couple of minutes here. Not bad music, Hake. Well, thank you, Bernie Mac. Boring as heck. Be right back for the rest of hour 2, guys. Enjoy the music, you musical Philistines. And hang tight. Press mute. Go shovel snow, if there is still snow. Be right back. Great, guys? Or no? Hake's mind must be a wide desert. What's that mean? Lord, rest my case. I'll take it as a compliment, I guess. This isn't bad. Thank you, Angela. She knows. Always listen to the woman. That's what I learned. See, kind of majestic now, right? It's not extol, but it'll do, right? Extol the Christian metal band, right? From like Norway. Can't help but notice there's a 6-sided symbol on the CD. Yeah, watch out, guys. Don't let Satan in. This is like brand new, but worse. Gay poem? What? Oh dear, says Wayne on Facebook. Bring back the skinhead music. Am I rude for interrupting the... Is this somewhat of a guitar solo? Long intro, yeah. Here it becomes not so much post-rock. The music is slightly less appealing than that idiot Hassan says. Hater. Yes, there is still snow. It's melting fast now. Thank you, Fred. It's not too bad though, right? This is okay. Tyler says, how much do we have to donate to get Stretch Armstrong back on the Hake Report? Another great Christian band. Shout out to Stretch Armstrong. They're all a bunch of liberals, though. Oh, they're promoting veteransforpeace.org. I wonder what that is. Intro to a modern video game, says Lord Colin B. Well, thank you for bearing with me through that, you musical Philistines. I appreciate it. Abnormal. Yeah, I know. My headache is coming on. Get it? Headache is coming on, says, whom shall I credit for that? Lord Spike Protein says, my headache is coming on. Headache music. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for bearing with me through that. I have a super chat that I will share with you shortly here. It is a child molestation by race statistic, because you can super chat an image on Odyssey, odyssey.com/@the-Hake Report. But let me get to my our resident musical expert, LUKA, out of Indiana. How you doing, LUKA?
The Lord is good. We shall be grateful for this day.
Oh gosh. Are you an Israelite?
No.
Oh, okay. Darn.
Just had to mock Jeremiah a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, you
it's
have
all love.
the...
It's all love.
Yeah. I hope Miss Parks calls in later.
All I have to do is say something that, what the KKK ever do to you? And she'll call in and tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to shout out my boy, Lord Bibby. He got a new video dropping right after the Hake Report.
Oh, cool. Lord Bibby. I saw a video that he made. You're talking about Bibby 42?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made this. Somebody showed me this video of Joel Friday dancing. And it's like, is Joel Friday dancing to Satan's music?
And
it has like all
evil.
of us. It's an interesting video. But Lord Bibby,
it's hilarious.
Bibby 42 is a faithful supporter. In fact, I think he's on my subscribe star.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So, anyway.
Yeah, we're all going to be in that chat if you got a free moment. It's mighty fun.
Oh, cool.
When
Nice,
the
man.
new Lord Bibbies drop.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Well, right on. Shout out to Raymond in the chat. Shout out to, what's her name? Lady Pauline, Colin B. Good folks.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man. Nice weather here in Indiana. Is it hot there?
It has been fairly warm, but it cooled off the past couple of days, and the wind was blowing pretty heavy, like so heavy that we could hear it blowing
that was
from
just Maze.
inside the studio here. Or not this
just
studio,
Maze.
but inside the office. That was just
Her
you?
No, that was just Maze. Her lips were flapping in the wind.
Funny, man.
Now she's on hold, so the wind has died down.
Nice.
So yeah, have a good show, brother. Keep
I
up the
appreciate
great
it.
work. Shout out to Jim Justice, too. He had you and Jesse's backs the other night.
Cool, man. Thank you, Jim
when
Justice.
Those snakes be snaking, and we all got your back.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, take care,
Have a
Luka.
good one.
All right.
Later.
Bye. You can call in 888-775-3773. By the way, I am not Get a Job. You can get your Get a Job stickers, T-shirts, and more. Maybe even hoodies. Maybe even tank tops. And more by going to teespring.com/stores/getajob. He's responsible for Jesse Lee Peterson's Savage Moments. He's the man behind all that. Totally voluntary. On his own, he did that. And he's made like 82 of them. That is something. That is cool. I support him because like I come to church or I come to the men's forums or I go to the men's conference or just wherever, people heard about Jesse first through Get a Job. Jesse Lee Peterson's Savage Moments. And then they are becoming Christians. They're turning their lives around. So that's something to support. Very nice. Of course, I support JLP and Bond directly as well. But that's cool. By the way, yesterday I said, hey, anybody feel like cutting little hate clips? You'd be welcome to. You can put it on your channel, and I'll share it if I like it. If I don't like it, I won't share it. So no promises. And by the way, some people have contacted me and sent me music or said, hey, you want to use my music? I don't really take requests, but I'm not offended by them either. I share stuff that I listen, mostly Christian music that I listened to in high school and college and a little after college. And this is not necessarily Christian music, the 6 organs of admittance. But, shall I talk about more empty, vapid, looking for love stars, entertainers, or whatever these people are? Ben Affleck, and I told you yesterday about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez getting back together. I didn't even remember that they were together in the first place, but then I do remember this cringy name that the liberal media came up with called Bennifer. I talked about this late yesterday on the Hake Report toward the end and there's just disgusting women in media promoting this as like some great, wonderful thing. Women, they're all into this romance stuff. They're all excited about it. And it's just misery, you know? Nothing about faithfulness, staying together once you're married and not getting divorced, staying faithful to your family, your children, your wife or your husband or whatever. But no, they're for everything feel-good, phony, degenerate, LGBTIQ, interracial, divorce and remarriage and divorce again and remarriage again and then judge Trump for it. But be very selective about whom you judge about it. So fake. What a mess. By the way, isn't Ben Affleck sorry, kids, dumb liberal? I'm not sorry because I said it. But wasn't he like an Obama-liker? He liked Obama? Kind of like, maybe I'm confusing him with that guy who played Batman. He was all old, and he was in this ER-type show. Blanking on that guy's name. This guy with, like, gray hair. Blanking on his name. He's, like, partly Iranian or something. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ben Affleck did play Batman. Worst Batman, says Lord Collinby. Yeah, but I was thinking the one in the late 90s or something like that. This guy. Ugh. Anyway, I don't like these actors getting all into politics, into themselves. It's ridiculous. That guy who's all, I want to punch Trump in the face. Robert De Niro. What a joke of a person. Yeah, George Clooney's the guy. No, I like Michael Keaton. Don't tell me anything negative about Michael Keaton. That'll destroy my world. Except that he's short. I know he's short. You can tell me that, but don't tell me about his politics. I don't want to know. I haven't heard anything from him, so that's fine. What a mess. Yeah, George Clooney is the guy who was all this Obama lover guy, but I think Ben Affleck was that way too. And Ben Affleck and that other guy, Matt Damon, who runs his mouth too much, but he was pretty good in Jason Bourne, but he runs his mouth too much on politics. Those two guys was it Ben Affleck was it Ben Affleck in that movie with this drama with Robin Williams, Miss Misery, that song Miss Misery by Elliott Smith came out and it came out the same year as Titanic. It's about these Jersey guys. No, I'm confusing them maybe with, I don't know. But these people, bunch of, and I didn't even like that movie. People said that movie was good. It didn't seem good. Yeah, Good Will Hunting. Yeah, exactly. Was that good? Was that a good movie? It's all right, says Chris. I think it probably was all right. It had been kind of hyped, and I'm not really a fan of that guy who committed suicide, the comedian guy. Although I did like Hook, but even still, I wished it was a different actor. Captain Hook, you know. Why would Robin Williams play Peter Pan? I mean, I get it. He got old and fat. They had good performances in Good Will Hunting. Yeah, I liked when the guy beat people up, and then he kind of tried to turn himself around or something like that. But then they like cried all of a sudden. I didn't get why they were crying toward the middle or end or something. They went to Harvard. It was in Massachusetts. Oh, okay, Jersey. Massachusetts, same thing, right? I don't know geography. That's why I'm fine with Russia taking over Ukraine. Not my business. They're Irish, not Italian. Okay. Yeah. Same thing. They're both non-whites. Am I wrong for... you guys know I was all in fun. Those Irish... Do you want to talk about this? Because I'm just talking total ignorance. I mean, about the movie stuff.
Oh, the movie stuff. I'm about to go off on...
You want to go off on the Italians and the Irish?
Yeah, they need to settle down with the ethnic stuff.
Yeah, they're like all into being Irish than American, or Italian than American.
Well, yeah, because this is what's happening now. This is what's happening now because it's not fashionable to be just white anymore.
Right.
So 100 years ago, or when like a bunch of them came here, it was like, yeah, we're American now, even though some of them didn't act like that.
Yep.
It sort of evened itself out eventually, but now that it's not fashionable to be white anymore, everybody's being ethnic now.
Right.
Everybody's ethnic.
Yeah. I'm an Italian. They call us N-word wops.
Yeah.
That's what, like the Cuomo guy.
If the shoe fits.
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Wop means without papers. Sorry if it's a bad word. I disavow my racial slurs or ethnic slurs. But WAP means without papers. Kind of like FOB meant fresh off the boat for the Asians.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, these people. Yeah, they're all into being this or that. That's why so many whites are like, oh, I'm part Indian. And it's cool, I guess, if you are, I guess. I don't know if that's cool, but what can you do?
I don't know what it is about. I mean, it's just part of...
wanting to be special.
Yeah.
Whites want to have their own thing.
Liberalism and...
Yeah.
I don't know, it's...
this false identity.
Yeah. It's part of being like affluent as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm so many things.
Right.
Like I own things from all over the world. You know, even myself, I am, you know, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, it's also tiresome to me at this point. It's like enough already.
It really is. So Affleck, is he Irish? Is he actually Irish, or he played an Irish?
Yeah, I mean,
or he part Irish or something. Is he Jewish?
No.
So many of these people are.
I don't think he is.
He just has that mindset because he's just, I don't know how long he's been in that world.
Yeah, I mean, he's just one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a, you know, kind of a liberal white guy.
And then he's going with Jennifer Lopez, who's like not a normal white. She's a Hispanic. She's a white Hispanic.
Yeah.
Which they don't consider themselves white, nor do we. The FBI does.
She'll enjoy the having the fair skin.
Right.
But don't call her white. She's not. But no, I mean, yeah, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Yeah,
Ben Affleck's a little younger than her too. He's 49. She's 50, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Scandalous. That's grandma.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine they're Irish or maybe, you know, maybe even like waspy to some extent. But
she's 52?
Oof.
Oof.
Yikes, bro. And
sorry for the throw up noises.
What's strange is, and not to keep up with the celebrity gossip or anything like that,
know.
But
this is my show now.
Yeah.
This is with a Hake Report.
Yeah,
we report on the celebrity gossip.
One-stop shop.
I got to take over. Wendy Williams retiring. How you doing?
Strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was dating like a really attractive. She's like Hispanic or something like that.
Yeah.
He's dating Jennifer Lopez again, but I thought I saw him in a movie and they were dating in real life. Like someone she is very hot and much younger than him. So I was like, okay, like thumbs up to Ben Affleck here. He moved on from the J-Lo stuff.
Right.
Let's get serious. If you're going to be a man and if you're going to live in that world, you know, be cool and Batman and buff and tall and white and date a younger hot girl.
I know. Like, look at Donald Trump, Clint Eastwood. Not that I really endorse this, but they're dating like decades younger women.
Yes.
Or got with or married or whatever.
Right.
And then now Trump's son is with an older woman. You know, Don Jr. is with Kimberly Guilfoyle. And this guy with 3 years older than him. And Britney Spears with 12 years younger than her. And it's clear that he's 12 years younger. You look at his face compared to hers.
That's rough. And he's definitely not white. That's a Middle Eastern man if I've ever seen one.
Right. He looked like he might be those Moorish Italians, but I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yes, something like
that. But that's basically Middle Eastern. That's the same thing.
Yeah. Something going on there.
Yep.
But yeah, you know, like I said, I wasn't following it too closely. I just thought it was more of a internal thing. Like, all right, good man. You know, if you're going to go down that road, he's already on the road. There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
At least get a younger hot girl.
Yeah.
But you're going with the older woman, way past her prime. You know, I mean, she's rich, which is fine, but Ben Affleck is rich too.
Yep. Shameful. But these women are like celebrating this stuff. Like, I really don't get it. You know, when I say these women, I'm talking about the CNN writers, the gossip rag writers. Mm-hmm. They're like celebrating, oh, Bennifer is back. Why are they such a fan of this relationship that's not good for either one of them, you know? Or this woman getting pregnant and going to have a baby, Britney Spears. It's like the gays were all into Free Britney. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I guess this is fine. But no, you guys tend not to be for what's right. And look at what's happening. So, as Nick said, they never should have let her go. Because they're going out of control, these women are.
Yeah, it's really just, it's a symptom of, you know, we're living in the matriarchy, basically. So, like anything a woman does, they're going to
they'll celebrate it as long as it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, well, it's you turn the woman into the man. So everything I was just saying about Ben Affleck when he was with the younger hot girl,
right?
It's like, so Britney Spears or J-Lo, they get with the younger man. They have more money. I don't know if J-Lo has more money than Ben Affleck. She might.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Britney Spears certainly has more money than that guy.
Yeah, so, fitness trainer.
Yeah, so it's just like some boy toy kind of a thing.
Yeah, and her other guy, Kevin Federline, he was a backup dancer. So it's like...
Yeah. Well, that was when it, not to say that it started with Britney Spears and
right.
that guy previously, but that was when it, the wheels were, the gears were going, the wheels were turning. It was like, okay, the matriarchy is now becoming much more prominent.
The woman is God.
Yeah. So, I would say expect to see more and more stories and just real life situations playing out like this. The more the matriarchy, the more that kingdom is built up.
Yeah.
Expect to see more of that.
True. Well, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
They're all excited about it. I'm shaking my head. This is better than TMZ, says Jib Jab. Well, thank you, sir. Kevin Federline got it made, says Blazing Hogs. Yeah, he doesn't have to be with that woman anymore. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, he already was with somebody else. Super chats, guys. At least one over here on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. John WX25 says, tale of two types of callers. Decent, intelligent, hardworking Americans like William and Art versus Tony that couldn't spell the first two letters of education. For Jeremiah, there's hope, since he does know the Bible, yet Satan is reading it to him. Well, thank you, John WX25. Appreciate your constant support. That is cool. I wanted to talk about, let me double check. Oh, yeah. I got another super chat, guys. I dragged into the folder Black's Child Molest JPEG. Sorry, kids. Sorry, adults. I'm not sorry, but let me do this delicately, okay? So this is a super chat from Asmodor over there. Since you guys brought it up, by you guys, I mean the degenerate black callers who called into my show, both Jeremiah and Toby from California, my neighbors. Child molestation by race. This is a chart or a graph, right? A bar graph, right? Something like that. Per capita. Oh, you and your white racist per capitas. Statutory rape discluded, right? Okay. So, a representation relative to population is 60, what is that, per 100,000? 160 per 100? What is it, per 100,000 or is it per million or whatever? Let me see. Maybe it says. Okay, so, okay, let's see. All right, so non-Hispanic whites, do you see this chart? Here it is. Non-Hispanic whites are at negative 22%. This is according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics. And, you compare it with the Census Bureau, census numbers for the percent of their population. So negative 22% of their population is the representation of child molesters by race, right? Okay, so you take all the child molesters by race. Oh, I get it. Okay, I think I get it. So blacks, whites are underrepresented by 22%, okay? Based on their population. White child molesters. Non-Hispanic whites, that is. Hispanics, who are mostly counted as white, did you know that? There are black Hispanics and there are white Hispanics. I think it's like 60-something% of the Hispanics are considered white Hispanics. Did you know that? Hispanics are overrepresented by 76% above their population. So let's say Hispanics are 18% of the population, or whatever. They are overrepresented by 3/4 of that, again, among alleged child molesters, right? Bureau of Justice Statistics is still alleged, right? Is it a criminal victimization survey? And then blacks are overrepresented by 59%. 59% more compared to their population. Child molesters compared to their population. Wow. Wow. Non-Hispanic whites underrepresented among child molesters. And you do know, I will have you know, that whites do not have the no-snitch culture that blacks have. I have heard it over and over again. There was a black guy who came out and he bought a bunch of schools. He's a young man. He's kind of on it, seemingly anyway. He's gone kind of viral over the past, I want to say within the past year, maybe more than a year ago. And I saw him do like this Facebook video about, child molestation, and like it was something that he went through, he says. And he says that it's not talked about in the black community. So that, yes, that no snitch culture does even affect, it's maybe a different situation from being fear of the gangs, fear of gang retaliation for speaking out about witnessing a murder, but similar type of, oh, don't tell it. So, hey, it's not just because the whites are not telling it. What a mess, huh? Yeah, teachers compared to priests. And gay versus straight, also drastic differences. That's true, Chris says. You go to public schools or schools in general, they say, oh, Catholic priests. And I learned this actually, I think the first time from that guy who died after he died, the comedian guy who was kind of based. He's a Christian. Man, I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, Norm Macdonald. Because, the go-to line is, oh, those Catholic priests. And yes, I suppose there were some homosexual Catholic priests who did do wrong things. In a big organization like that, you're going to get a lot of bad eggs. But, even more so among teachers. And same thing with the gays versus the straights. It is taboo now to link the gays with child molestation, right? To say, oh, they end up being child molesters. They're all child molesters. No, not all, but they are well overrepresented, and that's how many of them become that way, or go kind of off the deep end in that way. Maybe they're a little effeminate, and so they're more of a target, like a weaker target. And then they go off even more that way. So yeah, oh yeah, drastic differences. But no, they want to just go after the white straight men. Why do the whites want to marry 10-year-olds? Mocking Jeremiah. Well, thank you, Asmodor. Apologies because I'm a little dense on comprehending statistics, at least on the fly. Yeah, Norm Macdonald was a great comedian. I didn't realize it until it was too late. But it's not too late because we have recordings. Isn't that nice? I get to enjoy Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, these other dead guys. What a shame, huh? Bruce Lee, who's like 1/4 German. Yeah, King Randall is the guy, X-Boys. King Randall's the guy who talked about that. Thank you, Big Bump. Nice. Evil stuff in the world, right? But they don't want to actually deal with it. They just want to smear the whites and the men. And by the way, the purported whites in Hollywood, those are not normal whites. Just FYI. I saw this clip. Owen Benjamin played it. Guys know Owen Benjamin, some of you? This clip of Bernie Sanders talking to kids, in a school classroom type of situation, I think it was. And he talked about these different stereotypes. And he named a stereotype about Jews that I had never heard of, was that they're more sexually perverted or something like he said. Wow, I did not know that. Thank you for passing that along. What a mess, huh? And he is that, Bernie, right? He's definitely not a Christian. I think he's like an atheist, but he hides being an atheist because that's not politically beneficial at this point yet, I guess. What a mess. Jim in Los Angeles, California. Jim, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Yeah, I like what you were saying about the no snitching culture in the black community.
Yeah, in some cases, it's a terrible shame.
Do you think there's a problem with no snitching as it pertains to the police department?
Perhaps so. I have heard that allegation, and there's probably some truth to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You think there is?
Yeah.
Definitely?
Yeah,
You're kind of surprised that I'm kind of agreeing with it because I'm a cop defender, huh?
Yeah, you guys tend to take pretty obvious political positions. So.
Obvious meaning like normie?
Yeah, like, like stuff like racism doesn't exist.
That's that's an obvious position?
Well, no, that's the stuff that you say. I think that's nonsense, but that's the stuff
really?
you say, right?
Are you that guy who's... I don't want to say it. Never mind.
No,
I don't want to say it.
Go ahead, say it.
No, I don't want to say it. I don't like repeating stuff that's negative about people.
Say it.
No, man. Don't push me, man.
Come on, be a man. Don't say let's go Brandon. Say fuck Joe Biden.
Don't say that. You're on my show. It's a children's friendly show. There are children who listen.
Oh my God, that's a horrible thing to hear. Really? Children don't listen to this, do they?
Yeah, children listen to my show, man. What the heck?
Oh my God. Any children listening to my voice, please turn this off. Turn this station off right now. Do yourself a favor.
No, the mothers listen to it. Very ladylike mothers, and their children are around. Or in some cases, fathers. So
very bad parenting on the part of parents.
How old are you, man?
Hey, let me ask you. I got a question. Can you define evil?
Evil.
Yes.
Can I define evil?
I know you guys are big on definitions these days, so I figured.
Who's you guys?
Evil a lot, so.
Who's you guys? You mean like that? You mean Marsha Blackburn trying to get what's her name to define woman?
Yeah, that's
Ketanji Onyeka?
Dictionary definitions. That's where we are as a society, right? We just quiz each other on definitions. So what's the definition of evil?
Let's see. Evil. I know examples of evil. Can I define evil? I think that I know evil when I see it. Defining evil. I don't know if I don't know if it's up to human beings to define evil. But it is anti-God is an example of evil. Playing God is an example of evil. Abortion is evil. Women are evil. The LGBT agenda is an evil. The celebrating of these ladies getting back with men and having children out of wedlock, that's evil. Those are examples, I think, of evil. I think.
Well, so you can't actually define it. You can just say things that you think are evil.
Yeah, because God, because part of the reason I have a hesitation is that in the Garden of Eden, we were not to eat of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. So us thinking that we know good and evil may be part of the problem. But you people, if I can assume that you're a liberal, tend to call evil good, tend to presume to call things good that are not good.
Well, I don't believe in evil. I think evil is a religious precept.
Do you believe that good?
Not religious.
How about good? Do you believe in good?
I don't know. These are very kind of arbitrary things. What is a woman? What is a woman? I don't know. It's just one of these things.
An adult female. Define, right? An adult female human being.
What's a female?
You don't know what a female is?
I'm asking you, what's a female?
Do you know what a female is?
I do. What's a female?
A female is a woman. A woman or a girl?
What's a woman? A female. What's a female? A woman. Wow, that's not terminological whatsoever.
How old are you, and what are you?
I am in my 30s.
Are you white?
I am white. I'm a white male.
Are you a normal white?
I'm a white male who is of the bisexual degree. So I like men and women.
TMI. This is what I didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't want to ask you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not offended.
No, it wasn't about. It wasn't about not offending you. I mean, I guess you're not sensible enough to keep that in the closet, man.
No, not at all. Out and proud, baby.
You're the one who thought it. Are you the one who thought it was so horrible that I said that they should go back into the closet?
Probably, yeah. You say a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Are you a normal white, like a like an Anglo white, or are you more like a?
You mean Jewish or not Jewish?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, look, you guys ask the question you want to ask. Don't keep just dancing around nonsense. Just ask the question.
The way that you talk, it reminds me, because you're so blunt and vulgar and funny and very high verbal IQ. It makes me think that you might be.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's probably the New Yorker in me. I'm an Italian from New York, but I have some Jewish in me. So I'm part Italian, part Jew.
Okay.
Does that count? Is that okay?
Yeah, no, it's totally okay. I got some super chats for you.
Oh, please, yeah, read them.
Asmodor says with the super chat on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. Great platform. The homosexual liberal on the line has no place advising children. And he says, evil is that which is morally bad or wrong, wicked. And then he says, female, the sex that produces ova or bears young. Thank you, Asmodor. High IQ. Our resident historian and expert. Nice. So how do you like those answers?
They seemed a little incomplete and not well thought out, but I wouldn't expect anything else from your audience.
Whatever. That's silly. Says the. Are you an atheist?
I am an atheist. I was raised Catholic, but I am now an atheist. Yes.
A recovering Catholic.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Were you the kind of Catholic that? And I'm half kidding about this. Were you the kind of Catholic that woman who died, Albright, was? She was raised Catholic, but her parents converted to avoid persecution because they were really Jewish people.
No, there's no persecution in my family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, I appreciate your call. Thanks for tuning in.
No more super chat. That's it. Just one.
I do have a super chat, but it's not for you. You want to hear it?
Okay. All
right. You first heard me on Hippy Dippy Roundtable, right?
Yeah, very good memory. Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Are you going back on soon?
Not that I'm aware of, but I do go on modern. I am scheduled to be on Modern Day Debate this week. This, I think.
Yeah, so you were on there talking about what, men's rights or something recently? Is that right?
Yeah, is there a war on men? A couple of different debates on that, and I have another one coming up. What is my Modern Day Debate appearance? I wonder if it's scheduled already. Indeed, the woke agenda in America. James of the Hake Report versus Joe Louis. The boxer?
Oh, Joe Louis. Oh, boy. It's gonna be a rough one.
You're familiar with him, huh?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He can be a little insufferable sometimes in the way he approaches talking about things, but I think he's generally on the right side of issues. But like many people on my side of the aisle, they can be insufferable to listen to.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the input, man. Thank you for calling. Thanks for continuing to tune in sometimes.
Yeah, keep up the terrible work. Appreciate it.
Take care, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, man. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss any of the super chats. Oh, yeah, since I am on the super chats. Another one from John WX25 says, let's talk about the blacks. Totally savage hate. Oh, let's talk to the blacks. Totally savage hate. Jeremiah wants to be your neighbor because he doesn't want to live with the blacks. I don't know if that was Jeremiah's point. I think that he was trying to say that Hake is weaseling out of loving his neighbor by not considering other races to be his neighbor because he doesn't want them to be his neighbor. Therefore, suddenly they're not my neighbor because I don't want them to be. But he doesn't know what I want. He doesn't know my brain. And he's misinterpreting my words. Just like Tony falsely accused me of preferring a 12-year-old over a 35-year-old in terms of a woman. What the heck? Talk about vulgar, huh? But thank you, John WX25. It's so funny because Jeremiah is the one projecting because he weasels out of calling whites his enemy that he should love because he thinks only black enemies are the enemies whom Jesus wanted him to love. Terrible, huh? Disgraceful. Let me get to Dave, a first-time caller in California. Dave, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Jim?
My caller was Jim. I'm James. I only answer to James, dude. But everything is fine. Thank you.
I heard you go by Jason sometimes.
Yeah. Hate Farmer kept on calling me Jason. Nowadays, I'm such a pushover, I'll answer to anything almost.
All right, well, I'll try to keep it straight.
Thanks, man. So
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's happening with you and Wendy Williams?
Nothing is happening between us. Well,
you mentioned her. You mentioned her like twice today, once yesterday.
Yep. But that was because of the chat. They brought her up. But I think that she is entertaining. She's funny. I remember I became aware of her in like 2014 or something like that because she's this, okay, so for the audience who may not be aware, Wendy Williams is this, like, I guess she's like a light-skinned black female from New Jersey who
You don't think it's a dude?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, she kind of does look a little bit like she could be that, but I don't think so. She's a daytime talk show host, or was for years, and she was a radio host. Vulgar at times. She has a lot of gays in her staff and probably among her fan base and like women and stuff. But I remember one clip of her that when I was producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, she was all jealous and upset and crying because Madonna, at one point, her son Rocco was a fan of hers, a fan of his mother, right? Rocco, the son of Madonna, the degenerate pop singer woman. Very vulgar woman. Rocco, the 13-year-old son, was a fan of 12, 13 years old, was at that point, was a fan of his mother. And then Wendy Williams starts to cry because her son doesn't want anything to do with her, who's like 12 or 13 at that point. Didn't want anything to do with her, and she starts crying. He prefers his father. But, I mean, she was still married at this point, at least. I think she may still be married to this day to her teen son's father.
To this day.
But she's all broken up because her son is not worshiping her anymore. But it's funny because years later, Rocco didn't want anything to do. Like, he went on tour with this woman, Madonna, and he got sick of her. So anyway, but it was funny. And so I think she's kind of funny and relatable, degenerate, and very entertaining as a black female.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so there's nothing. Why? You don't like that I kind of like Wendy Williams or whatever?
Well, no, I noticed you mentioned her a few times in the last couple of days. I was wondering.
You think she's a man?
I heard from a very reliable source in D-Live chat that she is in fact a dude.
A very reliable source in D-Live chat.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think she is because that's too perfect. Like the emotions that she expresses and the thinking that she expresses is too perfect for her to be a dude. And she has an actual son. I haven't seen this son. And so I assume that she's, some women unfortunately look a little bit mannish. And that's probably her. It's my guess. You're very reliable source on D-Live notwithstanding. Oh, man. I appreciate it, Dave.
All right.
First-time caller.
Yeah.
Call me again sometime.
Cool. Yeah, I figured I'd call in. And,
Did it seem suspect? Did it seem suspect that I was like gushing on Wendy Williams?
Yeah. No, I always figured you're like a Jerry Springer dude, not a Wendy Williams guy.
I like Jerry Springer a little bit, and I like Maury a little bit. You know, I've probably consumed more Jerry Springer, it's the wrong way to say it, than I have of Wendy Williams. But I've only caught, I could probably only take either one in doses. Jerry Springer does suck you in, though, because it's just the drama between those people. It's not him himself so much. He just stands back and lets these things happen.
I think Jerry Springer was pretty likable, kind of like, I don't know, maybe like you or Jesse, just kind of sits back.
Yeah, right. True. I haven't watched much Wendy Williams at all, but it's just kind of interesting the way she expresses herself. Excuse me, I spit. Anyway.
Well, hey, I had a fun time calling in, huh, bud?
Nice, man. Yeah, I remember she had one last little tidbit about Wendy Williams. I don't want to say it. Because I don't want to express myself the way that she expresses herself, because it's like a total woman.
Indulge us, Hake. Indulge us.
Okay. You're okay. There was this woman who got pregnant at 50 years old. I guess she was like getting healthy. Maybe she was taking these things that help women get pregnant. And she's all, good for you. And it was so funny the way she expressed herself like that. But anyway.
That's what those people do, though. They encourage people to, do stuff that God doesn't want them to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So they praise it.
Yep. Very true, man. By the way, you're in LA. Are you in Los Angeles area? You don't have to say if you don't want.
I'm a little south of Irvine.
Okay, right on. South OC. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, I appreciate the call. Do call again sometime.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Oh, boy. Man, okay, before I get back to calls, I got to talk about this black New York lieutenant governor who got arrested. This is from Fox News. Faux news. New York lieutenant governor arrested on bribery charges. And these are still charges, innocent unless proven guilty, right? Brian Benjamin. I have a couple of photographs of this guy in the main folder. Allegedly carried out this scheme while he was a state senator, New York state senator. And yes, he's black. It's funny how this stuff catches up with you later, if it's true. Like, who knows, right? I wonder how long you think, oh, I got away with it. And then suddenly, bam. Gotcha. Like, this man may be totally innocent, except for the fact that he's a Democrat. Shaking my head. But he's black. Most blacks can't help but be a Democrat. Otherwise, they wouldn't be Democrats, right? That part's not so innocent, though. Did I put it in the folder? Oh, maybe I didn't. Hold on. Oh, yeah, black New York lieutenant governor. Could you show those, just to show you, according to the indictment from 2019 to 2021, this Benjamin guy carried out the scheme while he was state senator and a candidate for state comptroller. Allegedly solicited campaign donations be raised by a real estate developer when exchange for appropriating state funds for developers' nonprofit organization, whatever. To hide this, he falsified, allegedly, campaign donation forms. 2021, he was being vetted for lieutenant governor job. Wow. He provided falsely stated that he had never directly exercised his authority as an official concerning a matter of a donor he directly solicited. He's facing charges of bribery, conspiracy, honest services, wire fraud, and falsification of records. Maximum penalties ranging from 5 to 20 years in prison. They're looking for forfeiture of funds involved, or alternatively any property of the defendant up to the value of the forfeiture property. And he was arrested, black, relatively young. And this is after that Cuomo guy, that Italian Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, who supports abortion like crazy. He stepped down because of all the accusations against him, or something like that. It was amid all these fake Me Too accusations against him. And this Kathy Hochul woman took over as king governor, or, the governor. What a mess. What a disgrace. And so he had this woman as his lieutenant governor. She became the governor, and now it's a black lieutenant governor. What a shame. Anyway, I want to talk, before I get back to calls, Kay Ivey is indeed lame. I have some headlines for you. She's the one who had that deep voice that I liked. And she's all, they stole, beep, the election, which I, of course, disavow. But she's running for re-election. She's like 77 years old or something like that. Governor of Alabama, beautiful South, the beautiful South. And she's, we got voter integrity in our state because I'm looking out for you. But she's a woman. And worse than that, I look her up on Wikipedia because you guys told me negative things about her. This is from Politico in 2019. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey apologizes for participating in a blackface skit in college. This woman is in her 70s. Look at this old lady on this screen. And she's a beautiful old lady for an old lady, right? I don't know if you describe old ladies as beautiful. But anyway, she's looks like a relatively classy old lady, except she has no business being a governor. And she's apologizing for something she allegedly did in college. I guess it was like with her boyfriend at the time or something, and the boyfriend said in some old recording that he participated in blackface. This was a recording from like the 90s or something. So or I don't know, but 52 years before, and she's apologizing. What a total coward. Totally phony. And by the way, this article is written by one Daniel Strauss. Reminds me of the last name of Levi, when Levi Strauss, probably not a Christian. Also, he's black. Doesn't that look like that's a real black Israelite. Just kidding. Like he's probably part black and part like Juicy Smollett, like Jewish or something, right? Is that Juicy Smollett? Daniel Strauss is a political reporter. Talking points memo, blah, 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 blah. The Hill. Anyway, grew up in Chicago, graduated University of Michigan, majored in history. This guy, listen to his writing. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey. Governor Kay Ivey of Alabama apologized on Thursday, this is way back 2013, for participating in a racist skit that involved blackface when she was a college student. This 70-something-year-old woman apologizing for something that went down in college. This is around the same time that Ralph Northam allegedly came out in blackface. Ridiculous. In a statement Thursday afternoon, Ivey, a Republican, said she was made aware of a taped interview that she and her then fiancé, Ben LaRavia, she's been engaged or married twice, divorced twice, no children, gave to an Auburn University student radio station when she was a student there. She did not remember the specifics. Even after listening to the tape, I sincerely do not recall either the skit, this is what Ralph Northam said, too. He said he didn't remember, which evidently occurred at a Baptist student union party, or the interview itself, both of which occurred 52 years ago. Even though Ben is the one on the tape remembering the skit, I still don't recall ever dressing up in overalls or in blackface. I will not deny the obvious. 74 years old woman admits that it did happen and apologized. As such, I fully acknowledge. Just groveling. This is so wrong. But it doesn't cost her any money, and it doesn't cost her anything to apologize. So she maybe, I imagine, thinks, oh, this is no big deal. I can just apologize. But what you're doing is showing weakness and apologizing for something that's not wrong and being evil. I fully acknowledge with genuine remorse my participation in a skit like that back when I was a senior in college. And I offer my heartfelt apologies for the pain and embarrassment this causes. What are you even talking about? Whose pain? Whose embarrassment? Going forward, I will help show the nation that Alabama of today is a far cry from Alabama of the 1960s. Wow, isn't that true? They have a female governor who's apologizing for something that you have no business apologizing for. That's for sure. Alabama, how far Alabama has fallen since the beautiful 60s, or maybe the 60s weren't so beautiful either, but they had more people with sense in the 60s. Am I right? Some may attempt to excuse this as acceptable behavior for a college student during the mid-60s. This is not who I am today. This is not my administration represents all these years later. What a typical woman or female-minded rhino. Shameful. Anyway, we are over time. I'll tell you more about this woman because there were rumors swirling about her a year before that I want to debunk or at least say, hey, you don't know. And the callers, I cannot get to you. Emmanuel in Canada, I falsely promised that I would get to you. He says, thanks for keeping me on my toes. Louis Bootsy. Louis in Idaho wanted to call in and ask, what's your problem with Italians? It's all in good fun, man. Don't take it to heart. That's why we have a problem with you. You take it to heart. Anyway, thank you guys. We are way over time. Take care.